One question just about everybody has on their mind right now is ADA going to go parabolic in 2022? When is it coming? When can I cash out and get my Lambo? In this video, we're going to answer that kinda, so let's get right into it. But just to let you know, this video is sponsored by Stickfrix. If you're interested in getting a Christmas special NFT, we do have some going on right now. Stickfrix is my NFT projects, and if you want any more information other than the fancy snowman on the screen right now, please check the links down in the description. As I mentioned, kind of. I don't really know truthfully, and neither does anyone else, and don't try to let them fool you and think they do. However, there are some things we do know. In today's video, I want to hone in on those things we know that might lead to that parabolic upsurge with Cardano specifically, and then let you decide yourself how 2022 might play out for ADA. First, I want to go over something called the Bitcoin effect. It's something I just now coined, so we're just going to roll with it. But essentially, this is the power of decentralization. And I also want to talk about how oftentimes decentralization as a factor in blockchains are completely overlooked. Something else I want to highlight in today's video and go over is network effects alongside the Bitcoin effect. And network effects use Metcalfe's law, stating that the network's value is equivalent or proportional to the square number of nodes in the network. So if a network has 10 users, its value is 100. And if it has 11 users, its value is now 121. These things grow exponentially, and it's also something that I want to keep in mind as we're going throughout this video. You may be asking, how are these two effects, the Bitcoin effect and the network effects, really relevant to one another? Well, first we have decentralization, and there's a long list of reasons why decentralization matters, but the main point is that it prevents any one person or corporation from taking control of the network and the cryptocurrency itself, the base layer, if you will. This inherently creates more positive sum situations rather than zero sum situations in the case where normally someone has to lose for someone to win, but in this case, no one has to lose for someone else to win, using these trustless systems built on something like the blockchain that is a decentralized blockchain like Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Of course, nothing is perfect, but decentralization allows for a truly free market. Free markets aren't always fair, so keep that in mind, but also this gives great chances for people to benefit themselves without having to put someone else down, or, making a positive sum game rather than a zero sum one. Now back to the effects of decentralization, in turn with the mentioned network effects. If this part is getting too long without any mention of price, just bear with me, not bull with me, and we'll get there. Bitcoin over the past decade has showed the power of both network effects and decentralization working together. Whether you got into cryptocurrency this year or 6 years ago, the reason you've taken the dive is most likely because you're tired of the traditional systems and want a chance at a more decentralized system that gives you a more attainable outcome where you can benefit from it without putting someone else down, and you're also just in general at a more even playing field with the rest of the participants in the network. That being said, this playing field that we're on now has been growing rapidly, exponentially, especially over the past 2 to 3 years, with mainstream media grabbing more and more attention of cryptocurrency and the decentralized layers of the blockchain. Because after all, everyone is now looking for that playing field, getting out of just 8% annual returns in a traditional stock market where the largest corporations become more in control as time goes on and the government continues to print money like it's infinite fairy dust. In pair with so many people searching for a way out of these traditional systems and finding it in decentralized solutions and blockchain technology where someone doesn't always have to lose for another person to win, we have seen the rapid growth of the network due to the increasing appeal into the bridge from traditional finance to decentralized blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. As I mentioned earlier, network effects in Metcalfe's law state that the value of the network is the number of nodes or users in the network squared. So if we have 10 users, that network's value is 100. And if we have 1,000 users, that network's value is now 1 million. So with all these people coming in from mainstream media and more people jumping on the way out of traditional finance, this is ever so more important that the network effects come into play here and things get more and more interesting the more and more users come on board. Oftentimes, the power of decentralization is completely overlooked because many people making blockchains or working on something in the space tend to think we can just get more users. We'll grow our blockchain to the moon and then we'll get decentralized afterwards. But the main reason major chains like Bitcoin and Ethereum remain operational and people work on them is because they are decentralized. Decentralization doesn't always mean that everything is going to be hyper efficient, but it does mean that we can have systems that are resistant to internal manipulation. And this also means that we can make our own footprints building whatever we please and build said things in a sandbox not owned by any one person or corporation. Now let's do a little bit of surveying on some exponential network effects. First, we have Ethereum, a blockchain currently with a market cap of around $470 billion, over half of Bitcoin's $900 current billion market cap, and currently 11 times bigger than ADA's market cap of $41 billion. Although Ethereum and Bitcoin are much bigger than Cardano in terms of market capitalization, it is interesting when you look at the transactional volume on Cardano, remaining in the top 5 blockchains and even at times being higher than Ethereum's transactional volume for the past 24 hours for a large portion of 2021. Even right now, the transaction volume on Cardano in the past 24 hours is 1/3 of Ethereum while being 1/11 of the price. Why does this matter though? Well, it matters mostly because transactional volume shows that users on the network are active, or there's people who are using the network. And the more people are using the network, or the more active addresses, the more value the network technically has. These things being said, it's pretty obvious right now that the direct short-term prices of crypto markets do not exactly reflect what I've been stating this whole video. Things happen, crashes happen, and the amount of users on the network going up is not a surefire thing that the price is going to go up in stride with that. It might take some time to catch up, or it might not reflect that for a long while. However, I do think the point still stands. The more users on a network, the more people are going to talk about it, the more people are going to utilize the network and build things on it, and in general, the more transactional volume that is going to be brought to that network. So, although the short-term prices might not always reflect it, I think over time these network effects are propagated and do correlate to the price of the underlying asset or blockchain. Below are some examples of Bitcoin. Now I want to talk about the dApp leap, and the leap that a lot of blockchains, or more or less Ethereum and Solana, have been taking with decentralized applications on their blockchains that have really put things into stride in terms of network effects and getting a lot more people active on the network. And to this part, I'm going to go over Cardano dApps, but also I want to first start off by going over Ethereum dApps. So with that being said, let's go see the thriving ecosystem that Ethereum has put together and talk a little bit about what I think it has done for Ethereum and which may be coming to Cardano in 2022. In terms of dApps, they come in all shapes and sizes and are suitable for pretty much any use case that you can think of or might not even be thought of yet. From web browsers, the Brave web browsers, to protocols that let you autonomously borrow and lend money, DeFi protocols, the one thing each dApp has in common is that they are decentralized. Shocker, I know. Especially on Ethereum, there are hundreds, if not thousands of dApps that are spread across the blockchain. And these range from things that are trustless, like DEXs, where you can swap like you would an exchange, but you don't have to put in your information. And you can also borrow money without checking for a credit score. These things are very useful in a real world scenario, and a lot of people I don't think see that use case just yet, but I do believe that enough people are that have ended up coming to Ethereum, coming to use the dApps, that it has exponentially grown the user base and the blockchain in general. On Ethereum, these dApps ranging from DEXs, decentralized exchanges, DAOs, which are decentralized autonomous organizations, to DeFi protocols are very well progressed. Not so much on Cardano yet, but Ethereum clearly has the years of experience in this category, and to me, this is great. Although Cardano uses a different accounting model for its blockchain, the EUTXO accounting model, it's still going to be able to learn a lot of things from the thriving dApp ecosystem that Ethereum has put together. And a huge plus is that pretty much all of these dApps are completely open source. Anyone can go ahead and see the backend and take some knowledge from those code bases. So now, what if Cardano had dApps? Well, it does, actually. Smart contracts were deployed back in September of 2021 this year, and although things have been slow and steady with development, as they oftentimes are with Cardano, things are looking very good for 2022. Right now, we have some dApps live on the main network, and even more thriving up to be amazing dApps that are on the test network right now. Some of the dApps live on main network right now for Cardano include an order book style DEX, Muesli Swap, some NFT marketplaces, JPEG Store, CNFT.io, just to name a few of many, and also dApp connection wallets like Nami Wallet. Many people thought that with the release of smart contracts back in September and us launching into the Goguen era officially on the main network, that dApps would just be coming up online here and there instantly, but that wasn't the case. And finally now things are starting to heat up with new DEXs and all types of dApps popping up left, right, and center here to build on Cardano and getting ready to deploy in the next month to 2 months. Now, before we go any further, and while we're still on the topic of dApps, I want to talk about a very special one that is in the test network right now, and that is a DEX called SundaySwap. I just want to show you SundaySwap because I believe with their hundreds of thousands of followers and tons of people currently using their testnet, yeah, hundreds of thousands most likely, I'm not sure about the actual number, but there is demand for top of the line dApps, including a DEX that is very clean UI based, very good marketing, and just overall it reminds me a lot of PancakeSwap and Uniswap over on Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum. So far, SundaySwap has been the smoothest thing I've tested on the test network right now, and 2 weeks since their testnet launch, Nami Wallet alone has gained over 50,000 plus active users and is now up over 100,000 active users onto their Chrome extension wallet. And this is just with the SundaySwap testnet. Imagine how many users are going to come over and have to use a dApp capable wallet like Nami when the mainnet releases for SundaySwap and many other dApps coming to Cardano. So now coming back to that thing, the network effect thing where the number of users in the network squared is the value of the network. Well, hope you can see where I'm going. With 50,000 more users onboarded to a dApp capable wallet like Nami Wallet, just for a testnet, it gives me a ton of confidence that people are ready to grow and try new things and want to utilize them on a blockchain that has much lower fees and is much more cost effective, user friendly, inherently because it's cost effective. And honestly, I just believe that the users will grow exponentially as these dApps deploy and give Cardano even more use cases besides just opening a wallet and staking and using NFTs. Essentially, this is just the beginning of something that is going to take Cardano into a whole new quantum realm. It's going to take a leap into another dimension with the ecosystem growing and tons of dApps coming online. I do believe that the first years of Cardano spent building that strong foundation and a decentralized network will end in a really strong ecosystem for the dApps, because they can build on a really strong base layer that is assured to be very decentralized, with over 3,000 stake pool operators now running the network. Right now, things are heating up with dApps, and 2022 is looking to be an extremely promising year on a fundamental level for bringing in exponential amounts of users. There are also a lot of concerns, though, coming from people that are just generally worried about the crypto markets, where they're going to go, but in reality, no one really knows. One thing I do know, however, is that I won't be selling my Cardano anytime soon, especially if we go to lower prices. I really don't see any point in selling, and I'll be holding on tight as the underlying fundamentals of ADA increase day by day and the amount of users grow on an exponential scale, with new dApps to bring better systems to the people all over the globe. Overall, my prediction is that one way or another, Cardano is going to go parabolic in terms of users and transactional volume over the next few months, with all of these dApps coming online, and especially the top tier ones coming onto the main network of Cardano. I know this prediction may not be as bold as you would have wished, but the truth is markets can be very irrational. The price doesn't always reflect what's actually there in terms of network value, and oftentimes the price rises more on news than it does just fundamentals. This is a very speculative market after all. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great freaking day. I did post this video in article format that'll be also linked down in the description if you want to check that out. And yeah, have a great day. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.